Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about the concept of the sealed class. So the sealed class was a concept introduced in Java 17 as a feature, and this feature is very important with respect to inheritance, writing a quality code, and for maintaining the access control. Okay, so we have discussed. If you see the previous videos, you can see there we have discussed about the access controls and inheritance in detail. Now in this video we are going to discuss about the sealed class feature and how can we use it and what purpose does it serve. So sealed class helps in constraining, or you can say restraining, a class which can be extended. Okay, so what was the concept in inheritance? Suppose we have a class named person, okay, and it has attributes, say int id, string name. Okay, these are the two things suppose a person has. Let's create a constructor also. So public person, int id, string name, this dot id equal to id, this dot name equal to name. Okay, and then we create a toString method maybe, right? So let's create a toString method. This is a very simple class that we have created to understand. And suppose there is a class employees, or just an employee, which has two more attributes. String maybe designation, means what designation in an organization it has, and another is what department it has. So we take this and we write in designation string department, and let's call first the parent one. Okay, so to call the parent, okay, so we have created a constructor, and since this employee can also extend person. Okay, I'm extending the person class here, and I'm putting is int id and string name. Fine. Now in parent, when calling parent class constructor, I pass id and name, and then assign this dot designation equal to designation, this dot department equal to department. If any of the thing you are not able to understand, whether how this extends work, or how this inheritance is working, how we are able to call a parent constructor using super, then you should see the previous videos in which we have discussed it in very detail, and uh, you will get an idea, you will get to understand how this is working. Okay, so this is what we have said, and let's create a toString method here. Fine, so let's create a toString, and let's take all fields and create a toString. Fine. Now what we are going to do is, this employee is extending person. So when it is extending person class, these fields are not the private fields. So you know that any field method that is private to the parent class, in the parent class, cannot be extended or is not included in the inheritance. A child class cannot use them. Okay, right? So that's why I made, for convenience, these fields as for now default right now. Fine. Now, because of this, the ID and name attribute this employee can have. Okay, super. Now there is, suppose, a class, another class. Suppose, uh, let's say some class is there, like you can say student, and it also extends person. Now you are writing, okay, so now you are writing a code, okay, and in that you need only, your requirement is that we only require an employee class for our project, and somebody has created a student class, okay, and you don't want any other class other than employee to extend this person class. Now there can be a way that you can just say to everyone, don't use this, don't extend this class. But in a project there may be thousands of classes, and it is not actually feasible to explicitly tell that these are the list of 500 classes or list of 200 classes that you should not extend. Okay, so this is absolutely not feasible. But you know that extending these classes uh, by any other classes which is not required, okay, may affect the project. So this is a very common problem in the enterprise. When you work on an enterprise grade project, this is a common problem. A new employee or a new developer, when comes to implement certain functionality, he just extends the class, maybe a class that is not supposed to be extended, but he extends it. Now there is one way which exists even before Java 17 to prevent this. What is that? You can put a final keyword in front of the class. Now, if you put for final keyword, see the error says cannot inherit from final dot person. So you cannot, a class which is declared as final cannot be inherited. Okay, but your your objective is not to completely block the inheritance. Your objective is only that only employee should extend the person, not any other class. Okay, that is your objective. And this sometimes, till now, the organizations used to have a specified code rules, quality code rules and all that, that how, and a lot of documentation and rules in place, that what should be done and what should not be done and how it should be done. So that created a lot of mess. Okay, but now Java has provided a formal way, a very easier way to make this simple. What you can do is, with the help of the sealed keyword, you can define, you can actually explicitly define what classes can extend a particular class. So if I define that this is a sealed class, okay, so sealed class person, then there is a clause or a keyword that is permits. Permits mean whom, to which classes you want to permit that those classes can extend you. So you permit employee, okay, you are permitting employee class, that you are permitting the employee class that, okay, employee class, you are permitted to extend me, I can be your parent class. but you are not permitting student. Okay, so here an error is coming. I'll tell you what the error is. But if you come to the student class, the error says student is not allowed in the sealed hierarchy, which means that student class is not permitted to extend this person class. So this rule can be easily set up. Now, rather than organization giving these rules in a explicitly in a documentation or through code rules, okay, that don't extend these classes, only these are the list of classes that can extend these classes, it becomes so messed up. So sealed classes comes with this solution. Okay, so now this is how we can define which classes are allowed to extend a particular class. So the parent class can decide which classes can be its child class. Okay, now good. So a child class which extends parent class, it should also have a keyword. What keyword it should have? There are three keywords. Out of these three keywords, one keyword it should definitely attach to itself. So these three keywords are sealed, non-sealed, and final. Okay, so that's what the error says: sealed, non-sealed, or final modifiers expected. Now sealed, if if you make employee class as also sealed, then you have to necessarily use a permit keyword and specify the name of the class that can extend employee. Now you don't know whether it can be if employee you currently don't have a class which can extend employee for the right now. So you can say that, okay, I don't want employee to be extended, so I don't know, maybe later we can decide whether it's if it can be extended. So you can either use a non-sealed keyword. Now what does non-sealed keyword means? Non-sealed keyword basically means that any class can now extend a employee keyword. Okay, all classes that you create have the complete permission to extend the employee class. Okay, and if you make it a final, or you can make it a final. Now if you make it final, then no class has the permission to extend the employee class. So it's up to you now. The complete control of a class, the complete control of the code structure, of the inheritance, okay, everything is under the developer's control, and so that quality can improve. Code quality improves, unnecessary use of inheritance is no more there in the picture, and there is a complete transparency that, okay, this class is extending, this class is being extended by these classes, and this class is a final class, this class is a non-sealed class. So there is a complete transparency also, which ultimately helps in understanding a large code base on an enterprise scale very much easier. Okay, so this is the use of the sealed keyword. Now you can just create the employee object as normally how you create. So I just would say Rohit, let's say Rohit, and other two are designation and department. So let's say designation is SDE1 and department maybe tech. Okay, so fine, and then we can print E, right? So if we print the E, we can simply get all the information that we want, right? Department ID, name, okay, designation not coming, I think it is not included in the, okay, let's let's just remove this toString method. Let's add, maybe I have not included it. Yeah, so now designation is part of toString. If we run again, then we get designation SD1, department tech, ID 1, name Rohit, right? Perfectly. So everything works as earlier. All the rules of inheritance that we have discussed in previous videos are as valid now also. No change. The only change now is we have more control and more transparency over in the inheritance. Okay, so that improves the code quality, code readability, and makes scaling the system, scaling our code bases more easier. Now, one more thing is there. When you work in an enterprise scale and there are lots of classes, means if you are actually working in an enterprise project, or if you will be in future working as on an enterprise Java project, then you will see that there will be thousands of classes, thousands, literally 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Lots of classes will be there. So many, means lines of code, lakhs of lines of code will be there. 50,000 lines of code, 70,000 lines of code, maybe more than that. Okay, in such a case, what happens is there may be many sealed classes, non-sealed classes, final classes, right? So if you want to know whether a class is sealed or not, there is a way also that Java 17 provides this feature. So what you can just write is, you just have to write s out. You just have to write a class name. So if I write a class name person, okay, person dot class dot is sealed. Okay, so through this you can just know that, okay, if this class is sealed or not, and if you run this code, you will get true. Okay, if I run this on employee, okay, so if I run this on employee, it will come out to be false because the class is not sealed, the class is final. Okay, so these are, and for any class you can use these things. Is array, is annotation, is enum, okay, is an interface or not, is a member class or not, is a local class or not, is a primitive record. So this is a functionality. I hope you can easily use it. So I'm just but for this video we just know that we can check if a class is sealed or not. Okay, so getting back to the person, since person class is sealed, so we can easily know this. Okay, so this is one of the functionality of the sealed classes. I hope you have understood the concept of sealed classes, how it enforces and brings in the transparency in the inheritance and improves the readability and scalability of the code. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video we'll discuss about some new concepts. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.